Were there any surprising similarities between me and Hedda? Oh, God, probably, but I don't want to admit. Hi, I am Tessa Thompson, and I'm going to take 10 with you, Deadline.
No need to be so upset.
Upset? Hedda, see for yourself. This state of mortal panic is akin to this.
In mortal panic on my account?
Oh, relax. Eileen, she only asked that Tessman look after you at the university.
Look after me?
Make sure you stay out of trouble.
Hedda, please. Like a babysitter.
I mean, I suppose. No. Sort of.
What are you doing?
Me?
After everything we've been through. You run here and you involve my colleague in my business. He must think I'm...
From the academics to the gossipy ladies at the corner. Coward at heart.
Hedda has been described as the female Hamlet. Do you agree? And if so, why? Yeah, that is true. I think it's because Hedda is a very historical part in theater, and it's one of the greats and canon, and there's frankly not that many for women. And I guess maybe the Hamlet comparison has to do with this very complicated figure with a looming father figure as well, and just the complexity of those two people. But I didn't think about it like that. I think that Hamlet is the female Hedda. What are my favorite things about Nia DaCosta's interpretation of the story? So many things. I feel like for people that are Hedda Gabler enthusiasts, this will be exciting because there's so many things that are very different. But for people that don't have a relationship to Hedda Gabler, I think it's a story that sort of stands on its own. One of my favorite things about Hedda, as Nia conceived it, is that it really is about these three complicated women, and Hedda just happens to be one of them, because Nia took a part that historically is a man and gender swapped it. And I think it makes for a story that explores female rage and female paths to personhood in a really complicated, interesting way, and kind of in a deeper way than Ibsen. Sorry, Ibsen. Hedda is not afraid to stir things up. She doesn't want to live an ordinary life. Did that influence you in any way? This is complicated, but she does some things that maybe are unsavory in the course of the evening, and she wakes up in a life that she doesn't feel comfortable in, that doesn't fit her. And I think she wants to sort of destroy everything so she can build up again. And while I'm not sure that some of the things that she does on the way are admirable necessarily, I think the desire to live a life that feels like it's yours and that fits you is a really beautiful thing. And I think it's complicated to know what that life is sometimes if you're too hemmed in by other people's expectations of you. Sometimes you can put expectations on yourself and it's actually not really what you want. And I think that's been something that I have wrestled with a lot since making the film. And she gave that to me. And also not being afraid to take up space. She takes up a lot of space. And for some of us that can feel challenging, and you should take up space, you know? What can we all learn from Hedda's story? I think precisely that, you know, she sort of cuts her desires off and her instincts off, and that's kind of death by increments. And I think something that we can learn is that we have this, as trite as it sounds, we have this one life, and we should live it, and try to allow ourselves to be the fullest expression of who we are, because things get funky when you don't do that. And I think that things get funky for Hedda because of it. Okay, a fun off-camera memory from the set of Hedda. There are so many. One of the delights of this movie is that it's a big kind of raucous party. So we were drinking a lot of fake martinis. We did not drink on set because the hours were too long, but we did play a lot of games. And so there was this little tent that we had outside of the house because we were shooting in this old manor house where there were so many rules about where you could be. We could only hang out in this like dog room. But otherwise, we had this big tent outside of the house and we played a lot of games in there. I wasn't always in there because I was on set a lot, but the whole cast would basically be in there, and there were some really intense games of Uno, and that little tent was called Casino Royale, and we are to this day all on a big WhatsApp thread, and we text a lot on Casino Royale. Very, very fun vibe in there. If Hedda were alive in 2025, what would her Instagram bio say? Would she have an Instagram, do you think? I'm like, would she be, or you know what she would have is a Finsta. She'd have like a private Insta. Although she's like a society girl. Honestly, I hate to say this, please don't come for me, because I do have an Instagram. Would she be an influencer? It might have not been a bad pathway for her. She might have been an influencer. Okay, one of my favorite lines in the movie is, the best time to leave a party is after something terrible's happened, but before the police come. So I think that could be a good thing to put in your Instagram bio. She might be like a party planner. I don't know. I think, yeah, she'd either have no Instagram or multiple Instagrams. You're returning to the role of Bianca in Creed. What can you tell us about it? Absolutely nothing. I'm sworn to secrecy. I truly don't know anything. So if you guys get the scoop, will you tell me what's happening in Creed 4? I want to know. What's a movie you watch again and again and never get bored of? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I could watch it. I watch it all the time. I watch it at least once a year. I could watch it more, and I never ever get sick of it. A movie that makes me cry, there are many. Cinema Paradiso, but I always cry in When Harry Met Sally, which is another movie that I watch again. But when he says, when you know what you want to do with the rest of your life, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible, gets me. What has acting taught me about human behavior that surprises me? One thing that I really love about my job is it connects me. And one thing I love about watching film and television is I feel like it helps me connect to my own humanity and makes me feel less alone in the things that I think and feel and wrestle with. And something I love about getting to tell stories is I feel like it always makes me have to expand my own humanity. And this job for me always connects me to the fact that we are more similar than we are different as people. And that we as humans, and Hedda really taught me this, have the capacity for so much. We have the capacity for such warmth and beauty and humility and kindness. And we also have the capacity for real ugliness. And I think that exists in every single one of us. The only thing that is very different is our circumstances. And I think that makes a world of difference. And when you connect to that, at least for me, it allows me to be a lot more empathetic, particularly towards people that have different views as me or do different things than me. It allows me to see them as not that different than me, fundamentally, as humans. Okay, if I got to host a late night show for one night, who are my first two guests? Oof. This is important business, because late night it's a crucial time for late night. We gotta keep it alive, everybody. Willem Dafoe, because I love him so much. Willem Dafoe, Dochi, is the musical guest, but also on the couch, and Martha Stewart. That's what I want, because I just want to hang out. I want to be friends with those people. I met Martha Stewart and I did not play it cool at all. It went terribly. I was just like, hi. She's like, hi. But she did make me a margarita and it was delicious and very strong. If you could steal any costume from your characters, what would it be? I'm still sad I never stole Valkyrie's boots. I love those. They're so heavy too. They're like the kind of boots that you can't pack in your luggage, you have to wear. But they also have a lot of metal on them, so that would be challenging going through TSA. But I do regret that I never stole those boots. They're like vaulted somewhere. I have the daggers though, and I have a sword, which Taika gave me for my birthday. So I do have those, which is good. What's the first line you ever memorized from a script you still remember it? Oh, that's such a good question. I used to be able to do all of Romeo and Juliet, not just my lines, but every character in it from start to finish. But that was a very long time ago, and I can't do that anymore. I do remember I did a play and I had to speak French in it. This, for some reason, this is the first thing that came to mind. I think I was so nervous about speaking French. And the line I had to say was, "Écoutez-moi, papa," which is "listen to me, dad." And now it's one of the only things I always know how to say in French, which gets weird if you try to pull that out. If you weren't acting, what do you think you'd be doing? I mean, now I'm producing a lot more and producing things that I'm also not in, which has been such a joy with my company, Viva Mod, and my partner, Kishore Rajan, which is a gift. So I really like doing that. I'd probably be doing that. I'll probably always do that, I think now. But I really like arranging flowers. And I would really like to have like a yeah, I would like to do something like that and grow. I don't know how to grow anything yet, but I'd love to grow things. Maybe some combination of growing things and arranging flowers would be a nice thing. But I could also just do that. I don't know why. I don't know why we think about it. I should just start doing that. I'm gonna just start doing that. So I'm retiring now, deadline, and I make flowers. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this red chair. Next time I will do my type 5 for you. Thanks, deadline. You're the best.